You're welcome back. Now, tomorrow, the 11th of October, 8 final teams in the KOSMOS Innovation Center 2018 Agritech Challenge will pitch to judges, and one of them will be selected as the overall winner. They will take away $50,000 seed funding to start and grow their own business. Now, the Agritech Challenge is a challenge that tasks young entrepreneurs with developing innovative, technology-led business ideas to solve problems in Ghana's agricultural sector. Now, the 2018 challenge attracted 500 applicants, which was then whittled down to 100. And these are the initial program participants. Today, we're going to host one of the finalists on the show. We're very excited he's able to join us. Charles Ofosuhene is the COO of Complete Farmer Limited. Charles, how are you? And congratulations on making it this far, right? One of 8 finalists. Okay. Let's quickly mention the other finalists. Agro Innova and Annie Track, Complete Farmer, Galani, Qualitrace, and Trotro Tractor. That's 6 actually, 6 finalists, and Charles and your company is one of them. So tell us, how has the experience been, participating in the KIC Agritech Challenge? All
right, so Complete Farmer was one of the finalists in last year's event. We're funded by KOSMOS Innovation Center and Premium Bank to start our business. But the experience has been very great, starting from the market research trips. We had 2 of them. We even went into military training at 4BN in Kumasi.
Wow.
Exactly, it was very intense. And it was also followed by, series of meeting with prospective clients, meeting with people who will be interested in your product, and even other stakeholders, so that we have a fair idea of what the problem is and how best to solve it.
Wow, so some extensive work there since the last time you were in the final. So tell us, do you feel that the KIC experience has helped to shape you, the individual, and of course your organization, to prepare you for entrepreneurship?
Exactly. It's even gotten even better this year, in the sense that for the young individuals that entered into the competition, myself inclusive, we started out having a fair idea of what some of the problems in agric were, but then we were exposed to the individuals who are actually facing the problem. They allowed us to also see from their perspective how the solution will work best, because there's a difference between seeing a problem and then finding the best way to solve it. So this has been a great opportunity for all of us.
That's wonderful. Exactly. So tell us a bit about your organization, Complete Farmer. What do you do?
All right. So we solve one of the simpler problems in the agricultural value chain, which is getting raw materials for agro-processing companies and exporters. So what we do is that we collect purchasing orders, or we aggregate purchasing orders from these companies, and then we secure land on which we cultivate the crops for these particular parties. But then what we do beyond that is we allow individuals to pay to cultivate at least 1 acre, and then share in the profits that are made once we sell the produce to the market. So that's Complete Farmer in a nutshell. But then beyond that, we also build and manage vertical hydroponic farm systems that allows us to intensively grow vegetables and other exotic crops that may not do well in our climate.
That's wonderful.
Exactly.
Well, they say behind every great business idea there's a story, right? Exactly. So what's the story? What led you to this great innovation that you're now seeking to make money from?
Okay. So from my personal experience, when I finished university, I started a farm, 5 acres in the central region, and I saw firsthand some of the major challenges that farmers face in Ghana. My co-founder, Desmond, is a mechanical engineer, and he's the brains behind the vertical farm systems. And then we also have another co-founder, Andrew, who is a full-stack developer. So, based on our previous experiences and the challenges that we've seen in agriculture, we found that this is an avenue by which we can solve food security problems whilst making money. So it's a win-win for us.
Now you're venturing into a space that not many have ventured into before you here in Ghana. It can't have been easy, right? What are some of the challenges that you faced along the way?
Okay, a major challenge in agric in Ghana is under mechanization, and then also the fact that we have quite a number of water bodies, the Volta Lake being a prime example. But surprisingly enough, you don't have farms along the Volta Lake. And it's quite interesting because when you go to Egypt, along the Nile, essentially you have farms all the way through. So, you know, it makes it a bit worrying. And especially when it comes to mechanization, there aren't that many tractors around to allow for commercial production of, you know, food. And it makes it difficult for farmers, it makes it difficult for processors. And, you know, it's more or less like an upstream, downstream relationship. Once you can't get enough raw materials, things are expensive at the other end. So those are some of the first and foremost challenges that are facing agric in Ghana.
Well, clearly you've been working around those problems, you know, effectively, because here you are in the final. Now, I know there are many others who would love to follow your footsteps, you know, and win a position in a competition like this. So what would your advice be to those who want to come up in the agri-tech sector?
Well, my advice is that, or I'll say that there's a lot of opportunities in agric at the moment. I'm happy that the current government has, you know, started this drive towards, you know, preaching or more or less making people aware of the many opportunities in agriculture. So the advice I'll give to anyone out there is that, look, there are a lot of things to be done. Mechanization is a problem, storage, transportation, and a host of others. So get yourself involved. You know, get in touch with a farmer, anyone in the space, talk to them, share experiences, and you find out that there's a lot to be done to change agriculture in Ghana.
Now, we've always talked about how there appears to be some inexplicable stigma around the agricultural industry, and it's not attracting young people. Do you think we're doing what we must, everything we must, to attract young people, or are there opportunities we're missing? Is the state doing everything it can to attract young people to agriculture? What should they do if they're not yet hitting the mark?
You see, when it comes to agriculture, the infrastructure needed to more or less kick off, you know, rapid expansion of commercial farms is quite simple. When you look at something like access to telephone connection, you know, in most rural areas is very poor. And then when you look at access to roads and then also irrigation, I believe that if the government can put, you know, a lot of focus or drive policy that affects those particular three areas, it will bring a lot of change. Because, for instance, a commercial farmer may not necessarily be on the farm all the time, but then they would like to put in sensors so that they're able to monitor their farms remotely. But then because of poor connectivity in rural areas, you find that that's not possible. Not an option, and then also roads and then irrigation as well. I mean, agriculture doesn't really demand too much to kick off. So I believe when those things are solved, I mean, we will have a revolution.
Would you say that's what government should prioritize? You know, the technological inclusion of rural areas?
Yes, they should. Because the good thing about Ghana is that in a particular space, you find that land for agricultural purposes are pretty, you know, relatively cheap. So you can have a lot of places in Ghana whereby for less than 100 cedis, you can get 1 acre for a year. And you consider the fact that if you have access to mechanization services and also good roads, you know, can kick off a lot of, you know, agricultural revolution. And there's a lot of demand for raw materials, to be honest with you. You have the likes of Blue Skies and all of that importing huge sums of pineapple and raw materials to produce the fruit juice that they export. And it's surprising because we have a lot of land in Ghana, a lot of water bodies, but then you don't find commercial farms, you know, starting up and surviving. So if a number of things can be done, for instance, the transportation and access to internet and all those things, it will help a lot.
How do you see the future of agritech here in Ghana?
To be honest with you, it's looking very bright. It's looking very bright, particularly because it's been spearheaded by the KOSMOS Innovation Center. At the moment, across the continent, Ghana seems to have quite a number of agritech companies in the country, beyond the 6 that have been put into incubation by KOSMOS Innovation Center. We also have others like Cow Tribe, Agro Center, and all of them, creating very, very, very good impact in the space. So I have very high hopes for agritech in Ghana.
Charles Ofosuhene of Complete Farmer, we look forward to seeing you take your place in this bright future of agritech. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
All right.
Right.